Hello, welcome. I wasn't able to get my I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, maybe my no, that's working. I don't know what happened there. Hope you guys are all having a good day, good night. Hello, Regard Story. Hello, Tiger. God bless you. Miracle? Oh, mind the Miracle Street? Okay. Hello, Abla. God bless you guys. Hope you're having a good night. Appreciate it. Yeah, today I was as I was at work, I was thinking about, oh, sound is good. All right, good. Yeah, I've been having some challenges with sound and stuff lately, so God bless you, Abla. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I just was thinking there's a hadith. I've just been thinking about Aisha, and I'm thinking of doing a whole week of Aisha's wisdom. There's lots of things that Aisha said that were really revealing and really showed us a lot about who Muhammad was. And few people knew him like she did. And she was one of the top hadith narrators. And so she's got a lot of really crazy hadiths. And so I just wanted to talk about different hadiths she did this week. And so focusing on her wisdom and her insight. So that's why I'm thinking of calling this Aisha's Wisdom Week, AWW, not A&W like A&W root beer. So anyway, today I was wanting to look at this particular hadith, and I know this one, you guys are all familiar with it. It is in several places, it's repeated many times in Sahih al-Bukhari. It says, this is Aisha speaking. She says, I used to look down on those ladies who had given themselves to Allah's apostle. And I used to say, can a lady give herself to a man? But when Allah revealed, you, O Muhammad, can postpone the term of whom you will of your wives, and you may receive any of them who you will. And there is no blame on you if you invite one whose turn you have set aside temporarily. And then Aisha said, I feel that your Lord hastens in fulfilling your wishes and desires. So that's really the focus of today's today's live stream is those words. I feel that your Lord hastens in fulfilling your desires. So, and it's also here, I think this is in Mishkat al-Masabih. It's the same situation, Aisha said, being jealous of the women who offered themselves to God's messenger. Does a woman offer herself? Then Allah sent down. You could tell how Allah was involved in rescuing Muhammad over and over again. And Allah got involved to where Aisha couldn't say anything about it. It's like, no, this is Allah's decision here. And it was the verse in the Quran 33. Quran 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, the verse of okay. Um, okay, this is what Allah told Muhammad. This hadith is based kind of like based on this verse. It says, you Muhammad, this is Arabic for Allah praise upon you, can postpone the turn of whom you will of your wives. So I guess, he had a rotation, 1, 2, 3, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, for his 9 possibly 11 wives by then. So Allah was telling him that he was allowed to postpone the turn of whichever wife he wanted, and you may receive whom you will. So Allah here is telling Muhammad, on this rotation, you got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It had to take. It was probably like a 9 or 11-day rotation. Because every day he would have one. So Allah got involved because these other women were coming to Muhammad and saying, "We want to give ourselves to you," and so Allah, and then Aisha got jealous, and so Allah sent down a verse to Muhammad saying, "Look, you are allowed, Muhammad, peace be upon you, Allah praise upon you. You are allowed to postpone the turn of whom you will of your wife." So, like on the Wednesday wife, maybe it's Rihanna or Salama, you can postpone her day so that one of these women who are coming to you to give themselves to you, and you can substitute the Wednesday woman for one of these women who are giving themselves to you, Muhammad. This is a Quran verse now. Okay, Allah sent this down to help Muhammad because this was a difficult situation. This was a very difficult situation. Muhammad was just one man, and he had to deal with all of these wives, and had to please all of them, and it was difficult for him. And then Aisha has to add her jealousy to the situation, getting jealous. And so Allah got involved. And he said, "Okay, Muhammad, here's the verse that was written in the eternal preserved tablets up in Jannah, that was written in the eternal Lawh al-Mahfuz, preserved tablets from eternity." Allah wrote this verse. He was just waiting for the right time to send it down. And it was right at this point. And it says, "You can postpone the turn of whom you will, and you may receive." So you can postpone Wednesday wife, and receive this woman who wants to give herself to you. Okay? And when she gives herself to him, it doesn't mean marriage. The word in Arabic is yustankihuha, which means to have sex with her. You can receive her in place of the Wednesday wife. Okay, so he's got Allah's permission now to do this. Okay, it says, "You, Muhammad, can postpone the turn of whom you will of your wives, and you may receive whom you will. And whomsoever you desire of those whom you have set aside," her turn, like Wednesday wife that you've set aside, when you do desire her, it is no sin on you to receive her again. Okay, so Allah just took care of every single aspect. It's just amazing, the wisdom here. Allah took care of every single part of this to deal with Aisha's jealousy. If any of the other wives are jealous as well, Allah took care of everything. Say, "Muhammad, you can temporarily set the Wednesday or the Tuesday or the Thursday wife, set her aside for a night. Take one of these beautiful women who want to give themselves to you. Take them, have sex with them, but then you're done with them. Boing, send them back, and then take back those. If you desire her, take her back." And it's not a sin. It's not a sin to you, Muhammad, if you want to do that. Okay? It is no sin on you to receive her again. That is better, that they may be comforted and not grieved. See, because Allah was concerned about these women's emotional situation. Okay, he was concerned about these women's emotional situation. He didn't want them to be grieved. Didn't want them to be. He wanted to comfort them. He was so comforting. This is such a comforting verse to bring them comfort. Allah says, okay, Thursday wife, I'm going to set you aside this week so that I can receive this wife. But then, oh, wait a minute. I desire you again. So because I desire whomever you desire of those you may have set aside. So you have a desire for her again, bring her back. And it's not a sin for Muhammad to have her back again. Okay. And and it is better that way, so that they may be comforted and not grieve, and may all be pleased with what you give them. Allah knows what is in your hearts. He's ever knowing and most forbearing. See how Allah just takes all, looks at every angle of the situation to make it, really, to make it so complete and perfect. And so, I was thinking about that too, that, they call Muhammad the comforter. It's very, so, let me see. So it was in response to this verse that Aisha said, it was, well, actually, forgive me. No, no, it was in response to this verse. Now, Aisha looked at this and she said, dude, it seems like your God hastens to fulfill your desires. How many times does Muhammad get to throw one woman away, take her back, throw her away, take her back? You, Muhammad, can postpone. Okay, there's one verb. Okay, one thing Muhammad's allowed to do, to postpone whom you will, and receive whom you will, and whoever you desire of those you set aside. It is no sin for you to receive her again. So Muhammad gets all of these benefits, and then Aisha listened to this. Aisha listened to this, and she said, this is where she said, um, it seems to me that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desire. It was like, she was like, this is kind of crazy. It seems like your Lord hastens to fulfill your desires. And so she was kind of catching on to things right here. She was realizing, this is a very interesting situation that seems to repeat itself a lot. And so, this right here is the verse that kind of got Aisha thinking, you know what? There's something weird going on here, Muhammad. And it seems that your Lord, in Arabic, it says, Ma ara rabbak illa yusari' fi hawak. I see that your Lord hastens to your hawak. And that's like your desire, your lust. There's a very popular word, hawak. This is the word hawak, which is the word translated desire. But this is a very popular word in Arabic music. There's so many songs that talk about Yahawak, your desire, my desire. Is a very popular word. And it's almost the way we use the word lust. It's almost the way we use the word lust in English. And here, Aisha is saying to Muhammad, it seems that your Lord hastens to fulfill. He hastens, yusari'. The word yusari' means to hasten. And it's ma ara. Aisha says, I see that your Lord hastens to fulfill your desires. Let's just look at the other. This is in Sahih Muslim now. I felt jealous of the women who offered themselves I wonder how many times this must have happened. I wonder how often this happened, because I wonder if she sometimes was the wife who was set aside. Wonder if Aisha was set aside sometimes. I mean, if she feels jealous, maybe she was one of the ones who was set aside and then brought back and then set aside and then brought back and then set aside and brought back. Because how long did, how many women did this? Were offering themselves to Muhammad. And and here she says, "Tarji min tasha minhun wa ta'wi ilayk min tasha wa min abtaghit ممن عزلت." قلت والله أرى ربك إلا يسارع في هواك. Okay, this is interesting. This is what the glorious and exalted Allah. Then when the Allah, the exalted and glorious, when the Allah, the exalted and glorious, revealed this, you may defer any one of them, of his wives, you wish, and take to yourself any you wish. And if you desire any you have set aside, it's no sin chargeable to you. Go ahead and take them back. Aisha said, it seems to me that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desire. So, and here again, does the woman not feel shy? This is in Sahih Muslim again, of offering herself to a man? Then Allah, the exalted and glorious, AEG, revealed this verse. You may defer any of them you wish and take to yourself any you wish. Aisha said, it seems to me that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desire. So Aisha was catching on to this, and so we see her wisdom there. She was, she was there, and she was more than likely she was the wife who was actually being set aside, and she's very honest. Talks about her own jealousy, how she was jealous of these women, and there's another story. Um, let me see if I can find this story. Um, okay. The Surah Al-Ahzab, the Surah of, um, I think it's called in Arabic, in English, excuse me, the tribes, Ahzab, Ahzab, Hizb. The word Ahzab is the name of this surah. It's chapter 33 of the Quran, Surah Al-Ahzab. Ahzab is the plural of Hizb. Hizb. Hizb is the first, is, one of the most famous terrorist groups in the world. The first, it's called Hizb, Hizballah. Hizballah. It comes from the same word, Hizballah, the tribe of Allah. Okay. There's another one also called Hizb Tahrir. They're the Al Qaeda guys running Syria now. Hizb Tahrir. Hizb is the singular of Ahzab. Ahzab is the tribes, or like the tents, And so this is the name of this surah is Ahzab, and there's a lot of crazy stuff in this. If we go and again, this is about Aisha's wisdom, and specifically about Allah fulfilling Muhammad's desire, Allah intervening to fulfill Muhammad's desire. And here is another verse that, oh, before I go there though, I just want to look at the Arabic in this. ترجى من تشاء منهم وتأوي إليك من تشاء. You can take what you want, get rid of what you want. ومن ابتغي من عزلت فلا جناح عليك. And of those that you want after you threw them away on the side of the road, ذلك أدنى إن تكر عينهم عينهم ولا يحزن يردين بما أتيتهم. Yeah, it's a little bit more cruel in the Arabic. This is so that they won't feel sad. This, Allah sent this verse so that the women won't feel sad, being, cast aside and being replaced by these temporary wives who are coming, who want to give, these women who want to give themselves to Muhammad. So that the women won't be sad. The word in Arabic, ula yahzan. Yahzan means to grieve or to be sad. So that they won't be sad. Allah doesn't want them to be sad, and yardin, and so that they may approve. Yardin doesn't really mean to be pleased, but to approve of what you give them. All of them, kulhun, all of them. And so, Allah is really concerned about these women's emotional condition. Allah is very concerned that these women be emotionally satisfied with this situation, that Muhammad wants to bring in these extra women to replace them temporarily, but then he can take them back so that those women don't be sad. It's important that they not be sad. And so, Allah sent these beautiful verses to help. Yes. Hizb Tahrir, though, is not almost finished, unfortunately. They are, and they're doing a lot of damage in Syria. So, anyway, let's look at the next verse that, Aisha said, Allah hastens to fulfill your desires. Let's look at another verse where Allah hastened to fulfill Muhammad's desire. This is 37. This is when Muhammad fell in love with his daughter-in-law. Okay? And this is also in Surah Al-Ahzab. And remember when you said to him, Zayd, the freed slave of the Prophet, or the adopted son of the Prophet, on whom Allah bestowed grace by guiding him to Islam. Yo boy, yeah. It doesn't say all this in the Arabic, you guys. You, Muhammad, had done a favor to him. Yo boy, yeah. You did so much. You did so many wonderful things to him, O Muhammad. You said to him, keep your wife to yourself and fear Allah. That's when Zayd, realizing that his father was lusting for his wife, he knew he had to divorce her so his father could marry her. And he comes to his father and says, Dad, do you want my wife? You want me to divorce her for you? And Muhammad said, keep your wife. Okay. And this verse is about how Muhammad was so noble to do that. Keep your wife to yourself and fear Allah. But look, Allah knew better. He says, but you did hide in yourself what Allah was ready to make known, that he will give her to you in marriage. So Allah got involved. And by the way, you guys, this right here happened in Aisha's house as well. This happened in Aisha's house as well, because Muhammad, he fell in love with his daughter-in-law. He wanted her. When he went to the tent of his wife, his daughter-in-law, Zainab, she wasn't fully dressed. Muhammad saw, you see, Allah, and there's a hadith that says this, you guys, Allah made the tent door fly open because it was a tent door and it was just made of goat hair and stuff. And it flew open and he sees his daughter-in-law and says, "Oh, whoa." Yeah, and she was scantily dressed, if dressed at all. He saw, and he turned and he went away, and he said with a voice loud enough for her to hear him, he says, "Subhan muqallib al-qulub." Praise the one who turns hearts. Yabaye. So he wanted his daughter-in-law. And so when Zayd comes home, um, it says that Zainab said to him, "Oh, your dad came over today." And he goes, "Uh-oh, my dad comes over and I'm not here. That could only mean one thing." He knows his dad very well. And so he went to his dad and said, "Hey, Dad, you want me to divorce her for you?" Oh, no. And then Zainab also told Zayd what her father-in-law said when he says, "Praise Allah, the one who turns hearts," you know. And Zayd understood, I better give him my wife. The same way Abu Bakr understood when Muhammad wanted to marry his 6-year-old daughter. Abu Bakr said to Muhammad, he said, but we're brothers. And Muhammad says, "We're only brothers in religion, but you can give me your 6-year-old daughter." That's something completely unrelated to our brotherhood in Islam. So anyway, same situation a little bit here, where Zayd realized, and Abu Bakr realized, if I don't give Muhammad what he wants, Muhammad knows he could get very violent, and he can get what he wants. He knew Muhammad knew how to get what he wants. Zayd also knew Muhammad, and because this is after Aisha, he was already married to Aisha several years when this situation arose, and so Zayd understood too. I better give him what he wants, okay? And so, but even back then, in the Jahiliyyah, time of ignorance, the Arabs of Arabia were aware of how filthy an arrangement this is. And so Muhammad wanted to justify it. And so one way he said, "Keep your wife to yourself," just so that it looks like he's not lusting after his daughter-in-law. But Zayd knew he was. And then Muhammad goes to Aisha's house and he lies on the floor and he has his seizure, his seizure that he used to get whenever that thing came on him. And then it says after he had his seizure, it says Aisha was watching him. It says he smiled. You guys, I did a live stream about this and I'll do again. Please beware when Muhammad smiles, something evil is about to happen. When Muhammad smiles, all the times Muhammad smiles, it's dangerous, you guys. And so he smiled after this thing came on him, that spirit exorcist thing came on him. After he's done with his seizure and everything, he smiled. And then he says, "Do you want to hear the good news, Aisha?" And she goes, "Uh-oh. What other good news do you have for me?" And he says, "Allah told me that he married Zainab to me. So Allah got involved." See, Aisha's wisdom. She knew how Allah hastens to fulfill Muhammad's desire. And he wanted his daughter-in-law now. And Allah came to the rescue and sent down this verse. Okay, sent down this verse. And it just shows Muhammad's nobility. He said to his son, "Keep your wife to yourself and fear Allah." But then Allah came to his rescue and said, "But you did hide in yourself what Allah was already made known to you, and he will give her to you in marriage, that which Allah will make manifest. You did fear the people because the people had a conscience and they knew this was sleazy. They knew how sleazy this was." Okay? I.e., they're saying that Muhammad married the divorced wife of his manumitted slave, or he married the divorced wife of his son. They don't want to say son, whereas Allah had the better right that you should fear him. So when Zayd had accomplished his desire from her, he divorced her. We gave her to you in marriage. Okay. Now, can you imagine somebody getting married, a man getting married, and then God coming and saying, Allah saying, you know what? He has no more need of you. He has fulfilled his desire of you, woman. Be gone. Uh, how disrespectful is that to women? How disrespectful is that to women? When the man has, accomplished his desire. Let's look at how some of the other people say this part right here. Um, okay. When Zayd had performed that necessary formality of divorce from her, okay, let's see. Zayd had dissolved his marriage with her. Okay. We joined her unto you. And so Allah got involved here to fulfill Muhammad's desire. And Aisha, she knew this. Aisha said, your Lord hastens to fulfill your desire. She understood that Allah was really Muhammad's sock puppet to do his desire, to do his bidding. And she says that here. She says, I see that your Lord hastens to fulfill your wishes and desires. Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Mishkat al-Masabih. All of these sources. It's in there at least 4 times. And so, see, that's Aisha's wisdom. She knew there was something going on here. So, okay, let's look at another verse in it. And this other verse is also in Surah Al-Ahzab 50. Okay, let's look at this verse right here. This is one of the craziest verses in the Quran. Let's see this. Let's look at the Pickthall version. And this is 3350, where it says, O Prophet, lo, we have made lawful for you your wives, unto whom you have paid dowries, and those whom your right hand possesses, that's your slave girls, whom Allah has given you as spoil. So Allah gave those to him, okay, as spoils of war that he can have sex with, and the daughters of thine uncle on thy father's side, and the daughters of thy aunts on your father's side, and daughters of thy uncle on your mother's side, and daughters of your aunts on your mother's side. And in the Arabic, it does say it that way. Who emigrated with you, and a believing woman, if she gives herself unto the prophet, and the prophet desires her. And here it says desires to ask her in marriage, but that's not what it says in the Arabic. Arabic is the word yustankihuha, which means to have sex with her. Okay, so Muhammad was given all of these women. I mean, just imagine how many these were. Allah made them all lawful for him. All of them were lawful. I just want to look at the Arabic real quickly. Ya ayyuhan nabi. Allah saying, oh prophet, inna halalna. Okay, the word here, you guys, halalna. Halalna. So Allah saying, we, okay, because he always refers to himself we, because we is more majestic than I. Okay. Halalna, ahlalna. There's a word in there that is related to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you guys. Who can guess what the word that's related to Kentucky Fried Chicken is right there? أحللنا. See if anybody can see. What is the word? Abla says halal, made halal. Okay, أحللنا. We made halal for you, Muhammad, all these women. Okay, so halal menu. Laka azwajak. Azwajak means your wives that you gave ujurahun, wages. Uma malakat aymanukum, what your right hand possesses, the slaves. And then all of the cousins. Will ma'ak wa imra'a mu'minah, believing woman in wahabat. Wahab means to give. Nafsha lil Nabi. She gives herself to the Prophet. In arad in Nabi in yustankihuha. If the Prophet desired to yustankihuha. And I'm going to just out of curiosity, I want to see what Google translates this word, how Google translates this word. Google Translate has been whitewashed for Islam. You stun Kehu. Okay. See, it's saying marries her. Okay. But it doesn't mean that. Okay. It doesn't mean that. Because now it does sometimes say sexual intercourse. Okay. It doesn't say that. And one way that you can know that it doesn't say that is because Muhammad didn't marry any of these women who gave themselves to him. Or else he would have not just had 9 or 11 wives. He would have had a bunch of them. Okay. And apparently this was happening a lot because Aisha even mentions it. She says, I got jealous of these women, who were giving themselves to Muhammad. So this was obviously happening quite a bit. I felt, look what Aisha says. Look what Aisha says. Just, she said, I felt jealous of the women who offered themselves to Allah's messenger. So women. So this was happening often. Okay. Taraja min tisha. Okay. عن عائشة قالت كنت أغار على اللاتي وهبن أنفسهم. I was jealous. I used to be jealous of those who gave themselves to the messenger. So this was happening. I wonder how often it was happening. I wonder how many women did this to where it was, it was happening quite a bit. And it's obvious that it doesn't mean marriage because he would have married them then. And instead of having 9 or 11 wives, he would have had 20 or 25 or 100. Father Zechariah believes it was 66. But instead, he only had the 9, which means these were just kind of muta marriages, that he enjoyed them and then took back the Wednesday or Thursday wife. And so, but Aisha got jealous of them. So anyway, so Aisha there, so Aisha there was catching on to what was going on. And okay. And then the last verse that I kind of wanted to show you about Aisha catching on that Allah was doing what Muhammad wanted all the time. She was catching on to this. And I also want to look at Surah 66, which is Surah Tahrim. Okay. And this is where Muhammad fell in love. Well, and lust with Maria the Copt. And when he remember the story where he sent Zainab to go see her dad, and then he went and brought Maria the Copt to Hafsa's house and had sex with her on Hafsa's bed. Hafsa comes home and finds them in the doing the deed, and Muhammad, terrified, says, "I promise I'm never ever going to do this again. I promise I'm never going to do this again. Please don't tell Aisha." And so but Hafsa had a big mouth, and she went and told Aisha, and then Allah sent down verses. And see, this is where Aisha was very smart. She knew that Allah would always do what Muhammad wanted. And so Muhammad went on a pity party. He went to the mosque and he said, for 30 days, I'm not going to have sex with any of you women, any of my wives. So he went to the mosque for 30 days. But when he reached 29 days, he kind of wanted, he didn't want to finish 30 days. He wanted to, go be with his wives. And so Allah came to the rescue. Allah came to the rescue. And yes, there was also that situation, Tiger. Thank you. And this is another one of those verses where Aisha knew that Allah hastens to fulfill Muhammad's desire. And then Allah comes to Muhammad and says, "O Prophet, humble, meek, gentle, horny. Why do you forbid for yourself that which Allah has allowed? Why do you forbid to yourself that which Allah has allowed to you, seeking to please your wives?" See, Aisha was aware of this. He says, "Your God hastens to fulfill your desires." And so even here, Muhammad was showing so much nobility in promising not to have sex with his slave girl, Maria, again. But Allah got upset. He says, "Why do you forbid yourself that which Allah has allowed? Ya ayyuhan nabi, lam tahrim ma ahal, made lawful, ahal." You guys, again, this is a word that is related, ahal, hal. It's related to Kentucky Fried Chicken. What is the word? You guys know? Halal. Ahal mean to make permissible, to make halal. Okay, hal, ahal Allah laka. What Allah makes halal for you. Okay, laka tabtaghi mardat azwajak. So you're trying to get your wives to approve of you, Muhammad. Allah was very involved with Muhammad's wives to please them, to keep them from being sad, to keep them from disapproving of him. See, but he also would not let Muhammad's wives take advantage of him. He says, "Why do you forbid that which Allah has allowed to you, Muhammad? Seeking to please your wives." Let's keep reading. "Allah has ordained for you the absolution of your oaths." Look at that. Look at Allah. Allah has allowed Muhammad to break his oath. So if you make an oath, Allah allows you to break it. This makes me think of Jephthah in the Bible, in the book of Judges. He made a vow to God, and the Bible says, be careful. It's better not to make a vow than to make a vow and not fulfill it. Muhammad made a vow here that he wasn't going to sleep with Maria the Copt anymore. But Allah allowed him to break that vow. But remember Jephthah, he made a vow to God. He said, Lord, if you give the Ammonites into my hand, I mean, give me victory over the Ammonites, I will sacrifice to you the first thing that comes out of my door when I go home. He was hoping a sheep was going to come out or something. Instead, his daughter came out, and he did sacrifice her because he vowed to God to do it. But Allah allows the absolution, so you can just break an oath. Allah allows it. And you know what's interesting here, at least in the translation, and I'm not saying that this is right, but in both of these translations, this is not just a privilege for Muhammad. According to this, Allah has ordained for you, O men, the absolution from your oaths. Allah has made lawful for you, Muslims, absolution from your oaths, to break your oath. So you can swear your loyalty to a country, and then Allah allows you to not obey it, to break it. In all three translations, Yusuf Ali, Pickthall, and Hilali Khan, this ability to break your promises is permissible, not just to Muhammad, but to all Muslims. Beautiful religion. Okay. And then let's see. And remember when the Prophet disclosed the matter in confidence to one of his wives, Hafsa. This is the Maria the Cop situation. Hafsa, it even says Hafsa here, Hafsa. And she told it to another, i.e., Aisha, and Allah made it known to him. So Allah told Muhammad, Hafsa told Aisha. Allah was his. Okay. And Allah made it known to him. He informed part thereof and left the part. So, so when he told Hafsa, she said, "Who told you this?" He said, "The All-Knower and the All-Aware has told me." So amazing. Okay, and now look at this, you guys. Tell me this. I mean, Aisha said to Muhammad, what did she say? She says, I see your God hastens to fulfill your desires. Look what Allah says here. And if you two, wives of the Prophet, Aisha and Hafsa, turn in repentance to Allah, it will be better for you. Your hearts are indeed so inclined to oppose what the Prophet likes. I mean, you're against him having sex with Maria the Copt. How dare you? How dare you? But if you help one another against him, here's a warning. Allah's getting ready. He says, Allah is his Mawla, his Lord protector. Allah's going to be on Muhammad's side against you two women. But in case that's not enough, and Jibreel is also going to fight on Muhammad's side against you two women, and the righteous believers, and the angels. All of Muhammad's got this. I mean, if it was today, there's what, 1.2 billion Muslims in the world? There's going to be 1.2 billion believers. There's like 600 million angels, and Allah and Jibreel are all fighting on Muhammad's side against these two women, these two little women. And so we just, these are just a few of the instances where Aisha's wisdom is so clear. Aisha was catching on to the fact. She caught on to the fact. It seems to me that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desire. Call it. Qult. Wallah. She swears to Allah. She swears to Allah. Wallah. You always hear Muslims saying that. Wallah. They always swear by Allah. Christians don't do that because Christians know you're not supposed to swear. But Muslims always say it. Wallahi al-Azim. I swear by Allah that, that way you know they're lying. Okay, Wallah ma ara rabbak ila yusari' lak fi hawak. Aisha, the wise Aisha said this. I see that your Lord hastens to satisfy your desires. He hastens to fulfill your desires. I just want to see one thing. Okay, let me see if I can find this. Uh, okay, it was revealed, generally believed to have been revealed the fifth year of the Hijrah. Okay, so that Aisha would have been um, about 14 years old. Aisha would have been about 14 years old when this was going on, because this was like the fifth year of the Hijrah, a few years before Muhammad died. And this is before he got poisoned. He wasn't poisoned yet, and he was still very active. And so she was about 14 years old in the set. And remember, she, according to many sources, did not actually reach puberty till she was 15. When she was 14, she was still playing with dolls. She was still playing with dolls when she was 14. So she had not yet reached puberty. But this is okay. So, all right, you guys. Well, there you go. Uh, Aisha's wisdom. Aisha's wisdom. She had insight. And you know what? My theory is, you guys, and I've told you before, I believe Aisha knew Muhammad was no prophet. I believe Aisha was very well aware that he was not a prophet. And this is especially true when the situation happened when, because Muhammad says that Mary is the sister of Moses. The mother of Jesus is the sister of Moses. And in Arabic, she's called Ukht Harun, sister of Aaron. And the Christians came to Aisha and said, a Christian guy said to Aisha, said, you know what? I don't think, Mary was the sister of Moses. And then, but Aisha believed she was. And she said to him, you lie. You lie. And then the guy says, you know what? There's hundreds of years between them. And then it says Aisha was quiet. She was quiet. She thought, oh, I really doubted that Muhammad knew that. I really doubted this. She didn't say that, but it says she was quiet. Okay. Um, and let me see if I can show you this where it says that. Let me see if I can find this. Let's see. Um, Messenger of Allah, you would fondle me when he was fasting. Okay, I can't find that right now, but okay. Okay. Um, it says Maryam. Okay, let me see if I could. I don't. Okay, I think this is it right here. Um, um, Here's the story, but there's another one that has better detail. But when I came to Najran, the Christians asked me, "You read Sister of Harun in the Quran, whereas Moses was born much before Jesus." When I came back to Allah's Messenger, I asked him about that, whereupon he said, "The people of old age used to give names to apostle after the names of apostles and pious persons who'd gone before them." A very pathetic explanation there. But there's one where it says that Aisha, he said that to Aisha, and Aisha said, "You lie." And then he says, "Well, it seems that there's hundreds of years uh, between them." And then it says Aisha was quiet. She was quiet. And I really believe at that point, she realized, you know what? Um, I didn't think he was a prophet. But it was to her benefit to play along with this. It was to her benefit to keep playing along with this. So she did. And he got a great retirement plan. She's got a great um, position, as mother of the believers, and probably had a lot of money, a home, and everything. So it was to her benefit to just be quiet and play along with it, but that uh, knowing that he was not a prophet and that his God hastens to fulfill his desires, like so many times. So, is it? Oh, it's in a Tabari, Tafsir al-Tabari, Ibn Jarir al-Tabari. Okay. I don't know how I can get to Tabari. Let me see if I can find it. Tabari 1928. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know if I can. I'll try though. Tabari 1928. See if I can do this quicker. Okay. Okay. Let me show you this, guys. Let me show you this to you. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but I might. Let me see. على عين منية 16 منية جسر الحديد انقطع تحدث رجلي. Okay, now how big can we make this bigger? Oh, what language is this? Okay, this is in, oops, this is a different language. They have it in English. تفسير الطبري. Okay, you know what? I think it's going to take too long for me to find it, but emt, Oh. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. And I think we've been on now. We made it for an hour and 2 minutes. So God bless you. Click the last. I can't do that from when you put it in this. If you put it in private chat, if you put it in the private chat, I'll be able to click on it. So if you could take that link and put it on the private chat, then I'll be able to open it. Yep. M2M at Truth Defenders. Islam. Oh, Islamica. Okay. Islamica. Okay. See, I see this right here, but I can't click on it when it's in the chat here. But when it's in private chat, I can click on it. If you could put it in the private chat. Gap of 600 years. Yeah. You know what, though? Even 600 years is good. Um, but it was more like 1,500 years, 1,500 years. So, Islamica. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Islamica.info. Let's see if I could do this here. Okay. Copy. All right. Let me see if I could put it in here. I could put it, I gotta send it in Messenger. Okay. I got it in Messenger, so I'll be able to open it. Okay. Okay. Now I don't see the هل كانت عائشة تعتقد إن مريم I wonder the Arabic maybe أخت هارون. Well, you guys, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and look for it for tomorrow so I don't make you guys wait any longer. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you for hanging out. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Thank you for being with us. I don't know what's going on with my I don't know what's going on with my oh, does this make a difference? No. I don't know what's going on. I can't go down on my control board here to get to my music that I usually play when I end. So we'll just go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for being with us. Have a wonderful night.